Hello, dear lovely student. This is me again, Mr. Ahmed Karim, at the private Zhyar and the basic school. Today we have a new subject. It is section 4, chapter 6, inscribed angles, page 237. Okay, the definition we have of inscribed angle. An inscribed angle has its vertex on the circle, and the size of the angle lie on two chords of the circle. Look at the graph here. This is the circle. Okay, inscribed angle, it says, has its vertex on the circle. It's not like central. When we had central, the vertex of the angle was in the center. But for inscribed angle, the head, the vertex of the angle is on the circle here. Okay, so this is the inscribed angle. Then how can you find the measure of inscribed angle? It says the measure of inscribed angle is half of the arc, okay, that the two sides cut out of the circle. It means this is the inscribed angle, okay. These two sides, okay, cut the circle. Then we have an arc, okay. We have an arc. The arc of that angle, the arc of C is BD. The arc of that angle is BD. Then how to find the measure? The measure of that angle is half of that arc. Okay, for example, let's say the measure of this arc is 80. What is the measure of the angle? Because the measure of the angle is half of it, it means 80 divided by 2 is equal 40. Okay, in this section we have about the inscribed angle, we have two types of question. The first one, we have the angle measure, you must find the arc. Okay, the second type, you have the arc measure, you have to find the angle. It's quite easy. If the arc is given, you want to find the angle, and you are going to divide it by 2. If the angle is given, you want to find the arc, you are going to multiply by 2. As this example, we say that this arc is AT. To find the angle, divided by 2 is equal 40. But if the question say this angle is, let's say this angle is 30, you want to find the arc. Okay, angle is given, find the arc. Angle is given, find the arc, multiply by 2. So 30 times 2 is equal 60. We will have more examples, inshallah, we are going to solve it. This is the note. To find the measure of the angle, divide the arc by 2. To find the measure of arc, multiply the angle by 2. So they have opposite relation. In the example, I'm going to explain clearly. Find the measure of TRD and SBD. First, we have TRD. Follow the letters TRD. TRD. So we will have to find the measure of that angle. So how can you find it? Directly look at the opposite arc. What is the arc of R? It is TD. Then what is the measure? Is 16. How can you find it? We said that if you want to find the measure of inscribed angle, it's equal half of the arc. It means 60 divided by 2 is equal 30 degrees. So the measure of that angle is 30 degrees. Right now you can see that we have the arc. To find the angle, we divide it by 2. But here we have SB. This is SB. Right now we have arc. SB. I told you, whenever you see this sign or let's say that sign, it means you have arc. Okay, what is the measure of that arc? We said that we are going to multiply the angle by 2. It's the opposite relation. Okay, to find the measure of SB is equal 40 times 2 is equal 80. So the measure of that arc is 80 degree, is equal 80 degree. So that's great. We have that theorem. Says if inscribed angles are subtended by the same arc, then the angles are congruent. Okay, let's explain. What does it mean? Right now we have angle L, B, and D. All of them have the same measure. They are equal. It means if the measure of L is 30, then the measure of H is 30, the measure of D as well, it is 30. Why and how? It says if they have the same arc. Pay attention, please. What is the arc of L? This is L, angle L. 1, 2. This is the arc of L. Then, what is the arc of H? The arc of H, this is the arc of H. You can see that it has the same arc. What about the arc of D? Again, it has the same arc. So it means that if the angles have the same arc, it means they have the same measure. They have the same measure. That's why the measure of L, H, D are equal, because all of them subtended by the same arc. Okay, look at that example. Example 2. Find the measure of the following. Number 1, measure of HKL. HKL. In the subject, please try to follow the letters. HKL. This is H, okay, to K to L. It means this angle. HKL. How can you find it? This is inscribed angle. Directly look at the opposite arc. This is the arc. The arc of that angle is that LH. This is the arc. What was the rule? The rule was, okay, the measure of that arc is equal half of it. So the measure of that angle is equal the arc divided by 2 is equal 80. Is equal 80. So the measure of that inscribed angle, okay, 160 divided by 2 is equal 80. What about DHK? DHK. D, this is D, okay. D, H, and until K. This is the angle. And also this is the arc. But none of them is given. The arc is not given to divide it by 2 to get the angle. And also the angle is not given. So we go back to the theorem that said, okay, if the angles have the same arc, okay, then they have the same measure. So look at that angle, angle L. Angle L has the same arc as the what? Has the same arc as the HDL. So they have the same arc. That's why the measure is equal to 40. The measure of DHK is equal 40. Why? Because with the KLD, they have the same measure. KLD, okay, KLD and DHK, they have the same arc, so their measures are equal. Again, we have another note. It says an inscribed angle that subtends a semicircle as a right angle. It's quite easy because this is a semicircle. Okay, it is subtended by, we have an angle here. It means the angle is a right angle. So inscribed angle that subtended a semicircle is a right angle. This is the semicircle. Sorry. Then each inscribed angle subtends a diameter. This is the circle, and also you have a diameter. If the angle subtends a diameter, then it is a right angle. This is the diameter. If you have an inscribed angle, again it is 90 degree. So another part in that subject is inscribed quadrilaterals. The first one was inscribed triangles. Then right now we have quadrilaterals, which is that has 4 sides. A quadrilateral can be inscribed in a circle if and only if the opposite angles are supplementary. You know that what is supplementary, because we have studied in grade 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the grades. So supplementary angles, it means A plus B is equal AT. Okay, if the measure of A plus measure of B equals 180, then we call them supplementary angle. But in inscribed angle, it says if opposite angles A, B, AB, AC, and BD are supplementary, opposite angles. A is opposite to C, B is opposite to D. It means measure of A plus measure of B is equal 180. Also, sorry, not B, measure of C. Measure of B plus measure of D is equal 180. Okay, then we are going to solve an example about inscribed quadrilaterals. Example 3, find the value of y, then the measure of each angle. We have DMCR. We have 4 angles, it's quadrilateral, and it says find the value of y. First, we are going to find the value of y. Then how can you find it? We have to find 2 given opposite angles. For example, we cannot cannot use D and C. Why? Because D is not given, but C is given, so we cannot use it. Then we can use R and M. We can use R and M. So measure of M plus measure of R is equal 180. So the measure of M is 10y plus 19. Okay, this is M. Then plus R 6y plus 1 is equal 180. Okay, so we have like terms 10y plus 6y is equal 16y. Then 19 plus 1 is equal 20. So plus 20 is equal 180. We want to find y, so move 20 to the other side. 16y is equal 180 minus 20. 16y is equal 160. So to find y, divided by 16, divided by 16, cancel it, then y is equal 10. So this is the first part of the question. The value of y is equal 10. Then it says find the value or the measure of each angle. It means find the measure of M, C, R, and D. It's quite easy because we have found that the y is equal 10. the only way that the only, let's say, easy step that we are going to do it, put the value of y here, then you get the measure of angle. First, let's find the measure of m. M is equal 10y plus 19. Okay, what was the value of y? It was 10. So 10 times 10 is equal plus 19. Then 10 times 10 is 100 plus 19 is 119. This is the measure of m. Let's find the measure of c. c is 3y plus 12. 3y plus 12. What was the value of y? It was 10. 3 times 10 plus 12. 3 times 10, 30 plus 12 is 42. So this is the measure of c. Then let's find the measure of r. The measure of r, it is 6y plus 1. The value of y is 10. 6 times 10, 60, plus 1 is 61. This is the measure of r. Finally, we have to find the value of d, but the value of d is not given. Here we don't have any expression. How can you find it? By the theorem, if you remember, we said that the opposite angles are what? Are supplementary. It means measure of c plus measure of d is equal 180. Measure of c, what was the measure of c? 42. So measure of c is equal 42, write down 42, plus measure of d is equal 180. Move it to the other side. Then d is equal 180 minus 42. So 180 minus 40 is equal 140, so is equal 138. 138 is the measure of d. Okay, this is the measure of r and c, but we have to be careful with the measure of d. D is not given, and d is supplementary with c. Then 180 minus 42 is equal 138. So we have nicht meine question says the measure of inscribed angle A twice its arc, equal to its arc, half of its arc, or 3 times its arc. The correct answer is C. The measure of inscribed angle is equal half of its arc. Number 2, what is the measure of an inscribed angle if its corresponding arc is 104? Okay, for inscribed angle, the arc is 104. How can you find the measure of inscribed angle? We said that we are going to divide it by 2. Half of it is equal 52. So the correct answer is 52. Question 3, what is the measure of an inscribed angle of, here is the opposite angle diameter, what is the measure of an inscribed angle opposite to the diameter? It's quite easy. This is the circle and this is the diameter. It says the inscribed angle is opposite to the diameter. This is the angle opposite to the diameter. We explained that before. Okay, inscribed angle opposite to diameter, it is 90. Okay, it is 90. How did we know that? Because the angle is half of it, the arc. It means it's 180 divided by 2, it is 90. So if a quadrilateral inscribed in a circle, then its opposite angles measure are. Okay, it is 180 because they are supplementary. They are supplementary. Then another question, an inscribed angle that subtend in a semicircle is what? an integral angle that's subtend in a semicircle. Okay, semicircle is half a circle. Okay, so it must be 90. It must be 90 because semicircle is 180. Okay, for the angle divided by 2, it's going to be 90. Question 6, it says, what is the measure of BAC? This is the graph. We have BAC. B A C. Okay, we have that arc is 76, that angle is 61. Then we have to find BAC. First, if you remember, if you have a triangle, the measure of interior angle is 180. Right now, we have angle C is 61. Okay, we can find angle B by using the arc 76 divided by 2 is equal to 38. So the measure of this angle is 38. Right now we have two known angles, 38, okay, 38 plus 61 is equal 98. Is equal 38 plus 61 is equal is equal 90, is equal 99. Then 180 minus 99 is equal 81. D is the correct answer. Again, we have that graph. It says find BAC. How can you find it? Because it's a triangle. Okay, the measure of a triangle is 180 for the interior angle. One of the angle is known. We can find the second one by using the arc 76 divided by 2 is equal to 38. We add up these two angles, 38 plus 61 is equal to 99. What was the measure of the triangle? 180, okay, minus 99, it's going to be 81. So the measure of that angle is 81. Okay, dear lovely students, this is the end of our class. I hope you get benefit from me. Have a great day.